And now it's time for From the Cast, always an informative slice from the popular The Drift podcasts. This time, John explores the remarkable story behind BoatUS and the values that have kept them strong for 60 years.
We are joined by David Kennedy of BoatUS. And David, let's have a party. This is an anniversary, is it not?
It is. This is BoatUS's 60th anniversary, and we're celebrating that all year long with our members and all the work that we've been able to do over the last 60 years, and certainly for the next 60, if not beyond.
So how did BoatUS get started those 60 years ago? It doesn't seem like 60, but I guess it is, right? How did it get started those 60 years ago?
It is. Well, I think like all good superheroes, there's an origin story. And the story went that our founder, Richard Schwartz, was someone here in DC, and he went out with some friends on their new boat. And they got a ticket from the Coast Guard for not having a required piece of equipment on this new boat. Well, he was a little surprised at that, saying, that shouldn't be, if you've bought a new boat, then it should have the right equipment on it. And they said, well, that's just what it is. And he said, well, this is the kind of thing your association should advocate for. And they said, well, there really isn't one. And Richard thought about that and went back and started BoatUS to be the boater's voice on Capitol Hill and beyond.
Now, that's back in the day when the Coast Guard not only wrote more tickets, but the Coast Guard towed. And then the Coast Guard stopped playing in that game. They stopped towing, and along came Towboat US, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And this all kind of goes to the mid-1980s, when there was some reorganization done of the government, and they decided that they were no longer going to be in the business of non-emergency rescue of craft, where they'll come get you, they wouldn't come get your boat. And as I understand it at the time, BoatUS, opposed that. They thought Coast Guard soon, but when that became what was happening, they pivoted and helped create the largest network of on-water assistance vessels out there. I think we have over 600 vessels and more than 300 ports. So pretty much anywhere a boater is, one of our towboat folks are going to be there to help them.
So let's talk about where boating has gone in the last 60 years. What are some of the changes that you've seen in boating?
Well, I think obviously boating has become just more and more popular, and certainly with COVID, we saw a whole new contingent of folks coming out on the water. And so it really has been a great growth in the opportunities and the different ways that you can go out and enjoy the water. And then the other good news is boating has become much safer as we've gone over time. And BoatUS will take credit for part of that. There was something called the 1971 Boating Safety Act that BoatUS was key part of, and really started implementing a lot of the safety regimes and the things that you see now that we all just sort of take for granted. Well, that came out of the work that was done by BoatUS and others in the boating industry to really make this a family-friendly, safe, fun activity.
We've seen, as you said, the surge in boating due to COVID. We've seen a lot of people on the water who certainly could use the information provided to boaters on the BoatUS.org and through the BoatUS Foundation. Talk about what new boaters can gain from accessing all of those services and tools that are on your platforms.
So the BoatUS Foundation has the largest free online course that folks can come to and meet an education requirement. And frankly, to BoatUS members, we may put out a call to you to get in touch with your policymakers and legislatures to make sure that they have the BoatUS course available to them. And so that's BoatUS.org. And then we also have a great BoatUS magazine that covers all kinds of topics, comes out about 6 times a year, and that's one of the benefits of BoatUS membership.
And we don't leave the dock without making sure our BoatUS app is on that device and ready to go, right? It's phenomenal.
Absolutely. It's great. It's got good storm information, tides, very handy one to have. And again, makes getting a tow super easy. You hit the button, it sends you your position, and they can generally get right to you.
David Kennedy, thanks to you and your team and for what BoatUS has done for the past 60 years, and we look forward to what's ahead for the next 60 years.
Thank you, John, and thank you, BoatUS members, and if you're not, please join.
Remember to follow the Drift Podcast at driftsociably.com and wherever you listen to podcasts.